Hi guys. Hi guys, it's Genevieve from the Red Fairy Project. I hope you're doing well. Merry Christmas. We are December 26th. We've almost survived 2016 for those of you who have found it to be an intense year. I know I have. If you're like me at this time of year, when you start to approach December 31st / January 1st, a new year, a fresh start, you might start doing a bit of introspection, right? To see where you've been and where you're at. And sometimes we can be pretty harsh on ourselves. And it's actually a blog post that I read recently by Danielle Moss, who's the co-founder of The Every Girl. You should definitely check out their website, theeverygirl.com. It's a great lifestyle website. And she was talking about how we can have certain expectations for ourselves, how even society sets certain expectations for where we should be at a certain point in our life. So that's what I want to talk about quickly with you today. So before we get started, make sure that you subscribe to my channel if you're on YouTube by clicking the link below. If you're on redfairyproject.com, make sure that you sign up for the newsletter. It's really the key way for me to reach out to you and let you know when I have new content. So I have a new video every week. A lot of you probably follow me on social media, but as we all know, social media, we're just kind of constantly bombarded with information, and often we can miss out on some really good stuff just because there's so much stuff going on in our feeds and all that. So for me, the weekly newsletter is my way to really touch base with you and say, look, this is what's new. Make sure that you don't miss it, and you can take your little moment in your week for yourself to really work on your health and your happiness. So, talking about the expectations and the milestones that we think we are going to reach or that we set for ourselves in our lives. There are a lot of things that are, I guess, maybe taught to us or transmitted to us, sometimes maybe not on a voluntary or conscious basis, whether it's our parents, whether it's society, whether it's other people around us. And I find that at certain ages in our life or even certain moments in the year, we start looking at our lives and where we are, and we start establishing if we're happy with that or not, or if that is successful or right or not. And then we start usually the comparison game of saying, okay, this is where we're at this moment in our life. Where are other people at around us? And that is where things get really tricky, because nothing good ever comes out of comparing ourselves, because obviously we all have our unique journey. And yeah, we just usually start feeling bad about ourselves because, I mean, obviously there's different people around us that are in different phases of their lives. But then, you know, just because, for example, I'll give you a personal example. So I'm 40, right? I don't have kids. I don't want kids. So that's obviously an important detail. I have a boyfriend. I don't live with my boyfriend yet. And sometimes I have to say in the last year, so I turned 40 in September, I've had this internal dialogue of, you know what, at this stage in your life, you should be living with your boyfriend. You should be like, and I had my little list, my little mental list going on saying, you know, this should be checked, that should be checked. And I think a lot of us are that way, and that usually doesn't make us feel very good. I think that I'm all for goals. I'm all for living with intention, but you know what? Life is not one straight line. And sometimes in life we discover that there's certain things that maybe we don't want. Maybe we thought we wanted them for a while and then we decided we didn't. Maybe we wanted them, we had them, and then realized that's not what we wanted. So it's really not a straight line, and I think we forget that sometimes in our wonderful planning and goal setting, and the image that we also create for ourselves of what our life should be. And there are different things that can happen in our life where we'll take a few steps forward, and then sometimes we have to take a few steps back, whatever that is, whether it's our career because we took a direction that in the end it wasn't for us. Maybe it was for us for a while and it's not for us anymore. Maybe it's a relationship. It can be a lot of different things in our lives, and it can be hard to feel like we're taking a step back, and sometimes we'll stay stuck somewhere or with somebody because we don't want to take that step back and feel like we're starting over again. But that reset, that step back, is necessary in order to then start back on the right path. And I think we really need to be a little more kind with ourselves and to really honor and embrace our journey, what we think will make us happy. For example, like I decided that I didn't want kids, and it wasn't an easy decision, especially when everybody around me was having kids. I've never had anybody pressure me, thank God, nor my friends nor my family, but there is that like question, like, why don't I want kids, and am I making the right decision? But I'm confident now at the age that I am that that is the right decision for me. But, you know, okay, I'm still not living with my boyfriend yet. Well, I chose to be with somebody that is from somewhere else in the world, from England, and who is currently in Switzerland. And it was a conscious decision that I made, that I wanted to be with somebody like that has so much to offer, that is so worth it, but it makes living together on the same continent a bit more complicated. But once again, I really find that it's worth it. I know that we will very soon be together, but it's something that takes time. So especially I think sometimes when you go against the grain, when you don't go down that traditional path, it can be hard, because you see a lot of people maybe around you that have hit certain milestones, and you're like, oh, you know, why am I not there? Are they, you know, did those decisions make them happier in the end? So, and I think, I mean, self-reflecting, there's nothing wrong with that at all, but there's a difference between a bit of self-reflecting and maybe questioning some choices and some paths, but then just being hard on yourself, or saying, well, okay, I suck because this is where I'm at. Like, you don't want to go down that path. If you do notice that those are the kinds of thoughts that you have, try to catch yourself when you have them and redirect them to something more positive. Remind yourself that you made these conscious decisions to be where you're at now. And there isn't one recipe for happiness, honestly. Always remember also that what might look perfect from the outside is rarely the case. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's life is perfect. Some people might look very happy, and they might not be. Not that we wish that on anybody, but especially with social media, that is one thing that I have noticed, where we're constantly bombarded with, you know, visuals of what other people's lives are. Obviously, a lot of what we put out there is the good stuff, which, I mean, I'm all for. I don't want us to start like just showing all the negativity in our lives. I think like it's a balance, right, of being authentic, and then I like to put things out there that are positive and inspiring for people. So I don't like it when I go on my feed and somebody's just like vomiting negativity. I really don't appreciate that at all. But we just have to be careful. We have to be careful of how we perceive other people's lives and where they're at, and then really trust our path, trust our decision, trust what our intuition is telling us that we should be doing, where we think we should be at. And maybe sometimes that's against the grain, but that said, maybe in your immediate surrounding, there's a lot of people that are on a different path. For example, once again, in my life, most of my friends, they have children. Luckily, I'm confident enough in that decision where I'm okay with that. It's not something that I struggle with a lot, but maybe the fact more like, okay, I'm not with my boyfriend yet. We've been together 6 years. We've been doing long distance 3 years. It can be a struggle sometimes, but it's just to have that confidence in yourself, in that decision, whatever it is. Like for me, I'm confident enough in that relationship that, you know, I know we'll pull through and we'll reunite at some point. But yeah, just be careful with yourself at the end of the year. Once again, I think self-reflecting is really good. Doing a bit of a touch point of, you know, what has gone on in the past year. Are you happy with the decisions you've made? If not, how can you maybe readjust? But always doing it from a loving and kind, non-judgmental way. Really, really important. And really put those blinders on. Stay in your own lane. Block out what other people are doing. That's really their journey, their path. Trust yours, trust what your inner guidance, your inner GPS is telling you to go for, and be patient. Be patient. I think often what we strive for takes more time than expected. That's just part of life. I don't know why. We have things to learn. Maybe it's for us to really appreciate it. But there's no point in getting frustrated. That just causes stress for ourselves. So I hope you're having good holidays. Take a pause in all the madness of the holidays to think about that a little bit. Just sprinkle a little bit of kindness on the thoughts that you're having, and look at the new year with a fresh perspective. Do a little bit of journaling, maybe to let go some of the stuff from the past, maybe some of the, acknowledge maybe some of the mistakes that you made with kindness once again, and then look how you can move forward with new decisions, with a new mindset that's going to bring you the happiness that you deserve, really. So wishing you amazing holidays with the people that you love, doing the things that make you happy, and I will see you next week. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.